In the heart of a vibrant forest, nestled high in a sturdy oak tree, lived two young sparrows named Puku and Puki. They were siblings, fresh out of their shell, and the world stretched before them, a dazzling, terrifying expanse of green and blue. Puku *** was the cautious one. Every rustle of leaves, every distant hawk cry, made Puku pause, observe, and consider. When it came time to learn to fly, Puku spent days on the edge of the nest, flapping tiny wings, making small, controlled hops, falling back repeatedly, but always getting up, trying to understand the rhythm of the wind and the mechanics of flight. Puku learned slowly, painstakingly, through countless small failures and persistent attempts. Puki, on the other hand, was all exuberance and instinct. Puki saw Puku's careful attempts and scoffed. Why all the fuss, Puku? Just jump. On the third day, with a wild cry of, yippee! Quote, Puki launched headfirst from the nest, wings flailing. It was a spectacular, uncontrolled plummet, ending in a soft, but rather undignified, landing in a pile of leaves below. Embarrassed but undeterred, Puki saw a large, inviting branch nearby. If I just jump from there, Puki reasoned. The momentum will carry me. Puki tried many creative, albeit often unsuccessful, shortcuts, seeking the easiest way to glide, to catch a helpful gust, to avoid the strenuous flapping Puku endured. Life, for Puku and Puki, unfolded in seasons. In the bountiful summer, Puki thrived, while Puku meticulously scouted for the ripest berries, learned the best spots for insects, and observed the patterns of the farmer's field. Puki would find the easiest pickings. A picnic blanket left by humans was a gold mine of crumbs. A forgotten bird feeder a ready feast. Puki often returned to the nest plump and satisfied. While Puku, though also well-fed, was leaner, having worked harder and explored further. Why bother with all that effort? Puku, Puki would chirp. When food is just there for the taking? Quote, Puku would simply reply, the easy path isn't always the one that teaches you the most. Puki, as autumn faded, the chill winds brought a harsh winter. The picnic blankets disappeared, the bird feeders lay empty, and the insects burrowed deep. Puki, accustomed to easily found sustenance, soon grew weak. The familiar spots were barren, and Puki hadn't learned to forage in the deeper, colder parts of the forest, or to distinguish the few remaining hardy seeds from mere dry husks. Puki shivered, hungry and miserable, energy too low even to fly far. Puku, however, was different. Through the meticulous scouting in summer and autumn, Puku had discovered hidden caches of winter berries, learned which trees held resilient seeds, and remembered the hollows in tree trunks that offered shelter from the biting winds. Puku was still challenged by winter, but was prepared, knowledgeable, and resilient. One freezing morning, Puki, weak from hunger, found Puku diligently pecking at tiny, frozen seeds beneath a snow-dusted bush. Puki watched, a pang of shame and desperation in their heart. Puku, Puki chirped weakly. I'm so hungry, I don't know where to find anything. Puku looked up, not with a hint of, I told you so, but with quiet understanding. Come, Puki, Puku said gently. I know a place, but it takes effort to get there. And you must learn to dig deep. And so, Puki began to learn from Puku. Puki learned that the initial struggle, the countless small attempts, the persistent observation, built a foundation that shortcuts could never provide. Puki learned that true strength wasn't just about speed or daring, but about resilience, knowledge, and the quiet courage to keep trying, even when success wasn't immediate. Together, they made it through the winter. When spring arrived, Puki was still spirited, but now, Puki also possessed a quiet wisdom. Puki still loved adventure, but now sought understanding and mastery, not just instant gratification. Puku continued to be the diligent explorer, but also a patient teacher. The lesson: life, Puku and Puki taught, is not always about the grand, dramatic leap or the clever shortcut. It's often about the countless small, persistent efforts. It's about falling, and choosing to get up. It's about facing disappointment and still seeking knowledge. The challenges we overcome, the struggles we endure, and the patient lessons we learn when things are difficult, are the true reserves we build for the inevitable winters of life. The easy path might offer temporary comfort, but the path of effort and learning builds true strength and lasting resilience.